Build skills for life with self-learning. The next day, Austin comes to Paige with his self-learning project.
Paige, I tried, but it was harder than I thought.
What happened?
I kept jumping between tasks and ended up wasting a lot of time.
Try breaking tasks into smaller goals and create a schedule to keep track of your progress. You can reward yourself when you reach each goal to stay motivated.
But how do I decide which materials are solid enough to start learning from?
It's important to check materials for reliable sources. Look for information from experts in the field or from official organizations. Remember to see if the information is recent too.
I'm just so tired. What's the point of all this self-learning?
Reads Austin's project.
Look, you are actually doing a great job at organizing your ideas here, Austin. You're developing important skills.
Really?
Yeah. The purpose of self-learning is to become a lifelong learner who can gain knowledge anytime, anywhere. Just take your time.
Thanks for your encouragement, Paige. I'll keep trying.
Welcome back, everyone, to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And everyone, last time we listened in on Austin and Paige talking about self-learning. And remember, Austin wasn't sure what it meant at first.
But Paige helped him out. She explained that self-learning means choosing what you want to learn, how you'll do it, and when.
And then Austin decided to start with something that he likes, bugs or insects.
Insects, yeah.
Right? Paige gave him some great ideas like reading, observing, and even doing small experiments.
She also encouraged him to create something from what he learned and share it with others to get feedback.
That's right, and I mean, that's a really good start. But the thing about it is self-learning takes time. So how can he stick to it?
One smart way is to set small goals. You can reward yourself when you reach each goal to stay motivated.
Wow, Elsie, that's a great tip.
I sound smart, huh?
You do. All right, well, let's find out what happens next. All right, so our article tells us the next day, Austin comes to Paige with his self-learning project. Austin says to Paige, "Paige, I tried, but it was harder than I thought." Paige responds, "What happened?"
隔天呢 ，Austin 就带着他的自主学习计划来找 Paige， 然后他就说 ：“Paige， 我试过了，但这比我想象的还要难呢。” Paige 就问：“怎么了 ？What happened?”
What happened? So Austin responds by saying, "I kept jumping between tasks and ended up wasting a lot of time." Oh, and that's what I do all the time, everyone. So I'll try to learn something, or even when I'm trying to learn Chinese, I'll open up my book or I'll go on YouTube, and then 10 minutes later, my mind is somewhere else and she'll be saying, "Did you give up already?"
You just can't stay focused, right?
Right.
Just open your book for 5 minutes and okay, I'm done for the day.
So I understand where he's coming from. He couldn't stay focused. And there we see the phrase end up. And that's to finally do or be something, usually after a series of things happen. An example would be, I forgot to bring my umbrella today and ended up getting wet.
End up 这个片语呢，代表最后。那后面怎么接下去？第一种是加 VING， 第二种你就加 adjective 形容词， 或者是第三种介系词片语也是可以的。
So I wonder what kind of advice that Paige can give Austin about maybe, splitting things or making better use of his time probably.
Right, so let's listen to Smart Paige.
All right, Smart Paige says, try breaking tasks into smaller goals and create a schedule to keep track of your progress. You can reward yourself when you reach each goal to stay motivated. Wow, Paige kind of sounds like you. So it's always good, everyone, to create a schedule. And there we see the word schedule, which is a noun. It's a plan that shows when things will happen. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Something like that. A plan that shows when things happen. An example sentence would be, I wrote my Chinese homework in my schedule, so I won't forget it.
Schedule 这个名词呢是计划表或是时间表。那我们要制定计划表，可以用 create 或是 make 这两个动词。那你要按照计划去做 ，you follow the schedule， 或者是 you stick to the schedule.
Right, it's always important to follow the schedule and stick to the schedule. Also, in that last sentence, we saw the phrase, keep track of something or somebody. Now that is to follow or stay updated about something. An example sentence using this phrase would be, my smartwatch helps me keep track of how many steps I take each day.
Keep track of something or somebody 那是掌握某物或是某人所需要的讯息。那另外呢，我们还看到 reward 奖赏、奖励。Reward yourself with something 那就是你去奖励奖赏自己，这样子才可以 stay motivated。Motivated 这个形容词是积极的或是充满热情的。So how do you stay motivated when things get hard or boring?
That's a good question. I mean, I usually reward myself with something small, like maybe a short break or a nap after finishing a task. That helps me stay motivated and feel good about what I've done. But the trick is not to take up too long of a nap. So if you take a nap and say, oh, I did this and this and this, I'm going to take a nap. Don't take a nap for 2 hours, maybe just 15 to 20 minutes and then get back to work.
Yeah, but you do like naps.
I do like naps.
So don't take too many.
Yeah, not too many to reward yourself. Well, getting back to Austin, let's see what he can figure out. Austin says, but how do I decide which materials are solid enough to start learning from? So in that sentence, everyone, we see the word solid, which is an adjective. Now, this is something that you can rely on, having a strong basis. An example sentence using solid, we could say, he gave a solid answer that showed he studied very hard in yesterday's class.
Solid 这个形容词呢，就是坚实的、扎实的或是可靠的。所以一个很有根据、有例子的好回答，那可以说是一个 solid answer。那如果用 solid 来形容 information， 那就是可靠的资讯。那有力的证据、可靠的证据就是 solid evidence.
Paige answers back to Austin by saying, it's important to check materials for reliable sources. Look for information from experts in the field or from official organizations. Remember to see if the information is recent too. So just like we learned earlier with solid, we want to make sure it's something that you can rely on. It's good information. And there, everyone, we see the word reliable, which is an adjective. It's someone or something you can trust. An example sentence would be, she is a reliable wife who always helps me when I need it. The next word is official. Official is also an adjective. It's approved or done by someone with power, like a teacher or the government. An example could be, the new video game will have its official release next Friday. Or, the school's official uniform is a white shirt and blue pants.
好，来整理一下 reliable 这个形容词，可信赖的或是可靠的。 reliable 后面可以搭配什么样的名词呢？比如说 source 来源，好，或是刚说到的 information 这边也可以放，好，就是可信可靠的资讯。A reliable friend 那就是一个可以信赖的朋友。那另外形容词 official 是正式的或是官方的，我们常常在看到的讲到的就是 official website 官方网站。那 official announcement 是官方发布出来的公告 ，and official language 就是一个官方语言。
And that's a lot of information that Paige gave Austin. Let's see how he's feeling. Austin comes back by saying, "Oh, I'm just so tired. What's the point of all this self-learning?" He has a point. Paige responds by saying, Paige reads Austin's project. She says, "Look, you are actually doing a great job at organizing your ideas here, Austin. You're developing important skills." Organize, a verb, to arrange something or the parts of something into a particular order or structure. An example sentence using the word organize would be, I organize my desk so I can find my pencils and erasers quickly.
Organize 这个动词呢是使有条理或是使井然有序。那我们有很多东西事物都可以 organize. For example, we can organize our ideas, our time, our desks, our rooms, our houses.
Yeah. So even though Austin thinks that, what's the point of doing all this? And he shows Paige all the progress he's made, she's pretty impressed. And she's telling him, hey, you organize your ideas well, things are going well, and he's not even understanding that he's doing it. By self-learning, he's actually really making progress. That leads us to Austin saying, really? Paige answers by saying, yeah, the purpose of self-learning is to become a lifelong learner who can gain knowledge anytime, anywhere. Just take your time.
那 lifelong 这个形容词呢，在我们的句子里头，它非常的实用，对不对？ It's a very useful word.
Right, a lifelong journey, right? We all live this one life. We're going to take a lifelong journey.
终身的，一辈子的。
Right.
还有一个是 take one's time.
Yes, there. And that's a good word of advice. Take one's time. And that phrase is to do something slowly, not to rush. So an example sentence, my mom said to take my time when eating my food.
Take one's time, 那就是某人不用急，慢慢来。So for example, when I'm, getting ready, you'll say, oh, take your time. And I will really take my time.
You'll take a lot of time, maybe the whole day. All right. So getting back to what Austin says, he says, thanks for your encouragement, Paige. I'll keep trying. So he's very happy that, Paige said these words to him and he's making progress. And there we see the word encouragement. Thanks for your encouragement. It's a noun, words or actions that make someone feel braver or more confident. An example using the word encouragement, we could say, Dad's encouragement helped me keep going when I felt tired.
Encouragement 这个名词是鼓励，那我们可以 give someone encouragement， 那就是给这个人鼓励。那它的动词是 encourage， 好，我们也可以说 encourage someone to do something， 好 ，to 后面加原形动词。For example, my teacher encouraged me to try again。老师鼓励我再试一次。
Yeah, and I encourage you to try to clean the house more often.
And maybe I'll do it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, it's a lifelong journey. All right, well, now everyone, we are to our For You chat question. It says, what are some useful tools or sources for self-learning? Now, we've kind of talked about some useful tools for self-learning, but what are some that you could think of, Elsie?
There are actually a lot of them, right? So some of them maybe include YouTube videos.
Yeah, YouTube.
That we talked about.
Yeah.
And some educational apps and books from the library.
Yeah, those are all good ideas to learn how much or how things
done or work, right?
Things work,
so
exactly.
for myself, I learned so much just by watching how things work on, my computer.
Okay, yeah, those are great ideas. I'd also say, like we said earlier, I'd say podcasts, how-to videos, even TikTok videos where they're really short. You learn how to maybe do something quick. But like I said also earlier, grandma and grandpa can be great. Seriously, my grandma taught me how to fix a bike with just a spoon.
Really?
Yeah, don't ask. Took a long time. But she learned and she taught me that. So everyone, what about you? What are some ways that you can self-learn for yourself? My name is Adam, and that's all the time we have for You Chat.
And I'm Elsie. 喜欢今天的主题，你还可以到空中家教和真人老师互动练习哟。We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Schedule. Mike checked his schedule to see if he has to work next Wednesday. Solid. The lawyer presented her argument with facts and solid data, and she won the case. Reliable. The sign says the store closes at 9 p.m., but it's not reliable. The store often closes early. Official. The first official modern Olympic Games were held in Athens, Greece, in 1896. Organize. We need to organize our team so that everyone knows what jobs they need to be doing. Encouragement. With her friend's encouragement, Fiona was brave enough to sing on stage. She won first place.
智慧小补帖
Reward. Motivated. Lifelong.